Órale, Cholo Trucker Mas movies and shows, and here we got the movie Pacific Heights. Pacific Heights came out in 1990. Oh yes, back to the 1900s. Pacific Heights is an hour and 42 minutes long. You can find this movie on Tubi, Pluto TV, Fandango at Home, Philo, Amazon Prime Video, Peacock, Sling TV, YouTube, Google Plays Movies and TV, and Apple TV. I went ahead and I watched this movie on Peacock. Rotten Tomatoes has this movie at 55%. Let's get to the description. Unmarried yuppies Patty and Drake move into an expensive dream home in the high-end neighborhood in San Francisco. As they renovate the house, they look for a tenant for their first floor of their house. Carter Hayes, played by Michael Keaton, seems like a great fit at first, but it transpires that he is a con artist who plans to swindle them out of their real estate. As Hayes tries to drive them out of their own home, the couple must take drastic measures to fight back. Okay, I never heard of this movie, which is why it caught my interest. Yes, going back to 1990. I've never heard of this movie. And when it came across my feed, right, because I'm starting to watch a few old school flicks here and there as well. I'm like, all right, let me go ahead. Checked out the trailer and I'm like, huh, this looks pretty interesting, right? Not like Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, let me tell you guys, man, Michael Keaton is a phenomenal actor. That dude is a great actor. That dude can do it all. He can play a hero. He could play a bad guy. He could play a family man. He could play like this guy can do it all, man. I don't think he gets enough praise. All right. So basically, you have a young couple. They put their money together. They go to San Francisco and they buy this home right at the corner and they're gonna live on top. They're gonna live upstairs, and they have, I believe it's two bottom apartments. And they're like, wow, you know what? Look, if we can make this work, right, with the money that we're gonna be getting from the rent, yeah, we can actually buy this whole this building. You know, we're not gonna have to really dish out as much cash as we think. I mean, at first we're gonna have to basically clean out our bank accounts to renovate the place to make it look good and livable, right? And they do, right? They do. They have a plan and they take a chance. And they do, man. They get they get an Asian couple, elderly couple, in one of their apartments, and then Michael Keaton kind of, in a way, kind of forces his way in there. He just starts showing up. He's, you know, right off the bat starts a little bit of lies, like, "Oh yeah, you know, I talked to your wife, and you know, I didn't get a chance to fill out an application." And it's like, well, you know, the type of work I do, you know, I'm not really gonna have much credit history, and he just kind of works his way in there, right? He's definitely a con artist. And here's the thing, man. You know, back in those days, okay, back in the 1900s. No, but look, back in those days, you actually saw some nudity, right? Beverly D'Angelo is in this movie. Now she plays a small role in the movie, but yeah, man, I it's one of those things like watching some of the old school classics from the 70s, 80s, mainly from the 80s and 90s. One thing that I'm reminded is, oh yeah, actresses back then didn't mind showing a little bit more skin. You know, you don't really see that from you haven't seen that in movies in the last heck, I don't know, 20 years, maybe more. But I'm like, oh yeah, look, Beverly D'Angelo, you know, showing us showing us a little bit more than the other actresses of today. But yeah, man. The movie starts, with him taking a beating, and you're just kind of like, oh, okay. You kind of feel bad for him, right? Until the movie starts going, and until you start realizing what a con artist this guy is, and it's like, wow, this guy's a real dirtbag, played by Michael Keaton. At the same time, I never really fell in love with the couple, right? They're supposed to be the good guys. They're supposed to be, the yeah, like I said, the good guys in the movie, right? Michael Keaton is supposed to be the evil one, but I never really fell in love with them. Um, him is like, guy, just like I don't know. I was kind of thinking like the guy was a little bit dumb, right? And her, she has her own little issues, trying to keep him calm. But I'm like, hey, guy, you're gonna wanna take it easy here because at some point he needed to pick up what Michael Keaton was doing. Michael Keaton was doing everything perfectly, right? It's like, hey, I'm the bad guy. I'm trying to get everybody uh kicked out of here. I'm trying to get everybody tired of me. But then when the cops show up, I'm super good guy. I'm cleaned up. I'm articulate, and it's just a huge misunderstanding. And the laws, I'll tell you, man, the laws in California, and I've heard of these things as well, where it's like, hey, if somebody is living, if somebody just kind of goes and starts squatting somewhere, if they've been there for so long, they kind of have some rights. You just can't go and kick them out. I don't know if any of that has changed. I remember hearing that years ago that no, you're going to have to legally get them out. You just can't go in there and start pushing them out physically. You're actually going to have to lawyer up, which is like mind blowing to me. But he knows the laws, he knows all the loopholes, and he knows how to get around all this. And it was just crazy to see. And at the same time, Michael Keaton, he plays just a great, great villain. This guy can do it all. Like I said, I never fell in love with the couple. So I never even really cared. But Michael Keaton, for damn sure, stole the show in this movie. And at the end, and then once you start finding out about his family, I don't want to ruin too much, but once you start, because they start digging into it, right? Especially the girl, right? Out of the couple, the young girl. I mean, it gets to a deadly point, honestly, where we have to bring guns into this, and now people's lives are being threatened. But when she starts digging in to his history, going into his family, and why is he doing this and how long he's been doing this for, it gets pretty darn interesting. And just to see how much of a scummy dude this guy is and has been, it's crazy. But look, um, I do recommend it if you like watching some old school movies. It's not a lot of action. It's more drama. You're gonna get a little bit of action here and there, but it's more drama than anything. But look, I enjoyed it. I don't want to oversell it and say it's a great watch, but if you got some time, if you like some old school movies, if you like Michael Keaton, it's definitely worth giving it a look see. That is Pacific Heights, Cholo Trucker, Moss Movies and Shows. Catch you guys on next one.